Hey there, Mosh. Game changer here. So let's have a little look at this defense stat. I mean, it's good, but I think you can better. Either that or you've got here quickly, I think, is possibly how it's here looking with the number of fobs. So let's have a look at this base. Now, first observation, way too much machine gun. Machine gun does fuck all, really, so I don't want to be seeing that, really, to be fair with you. Also, the heavy platform here is low for your level, I think. So maybe that's something to have a look at going forward. But if you look at your, what you need to protect really, especially going forward, your War Factory is super vulnerable. I mean, it'd be dead easy to obviously take that out, and really, I mean, I could stand in front of a machine gun all day long and still be there at the end of it. The machine guns just aren't effective. I mean, where's your SAMs? Where's your anti-air defense? I mean, you've got none whatsoever. So you want to be looking at the highest possible level SAMs. Maybe two of those solo boosted would be absolutely key. When Nemesis comes online, obviously make sure that airfield's fairly central, which it is, which is excellent. I mean, again, you've just your CC's not protecting anything. Your CC probably wants to be kind of about here, and then straight behind that wants to be, say, the garage, for example, or the War Factory, or something along that sort of line. The other building you use for defence is your power plant as well. And you've got to think, if somebody's coming in with an F-35, say they're coming in this way, for example, then if you want to protect a particular building, you've got to put the CC in front of it. So really, I think your base needs a bit of a shake up, really. I mean, your mines aren't doing anything. I mean, if your mines actually did anything, I'm probably already in your base and you're probably already dead, and it's almost like take a little bit of punishment on your way out. They're really sort of not going to cause me any bother. Again, if you're thinking about protecting your base, you'd probably put your mines here, so that, they want to take your War Factory, but they're going to obviously hit the mines first, things along that sort of line. So yeah, I want to see more SAMs. Well, I want to see some SAMs. To be fair with you, I think that would be that would be fair, and far less machine gun. I mean, what about peacemakers? I mean, fobs could probably just trundle in and take you because there's nothing there to give them a kick in. So maybe a little bit more. Salvo, certainly a hell of a lot less machine gun. I don't mind a rail gun in there. I think that's reasonable. I do think they're perhaps all a little bit together. I mean, you've got four fucking hell, four turrets there sharing one transformer. I mean, that's going to take the transformer's power down to, well, fuck all. So that, you need to be having to think about that. You only really want ever two turrets off one transformer, and quite often in my base I'm running one turret off the transformer to give it the maximum boost, especially in SAMs. So I'd be aiming to make sure that if somebody came in with my base with an airstrike, they might obviously get in, but they don't get back out again. Not certainly with the same airstriker, where I think you'd get airstriked all day long, and I don't think there's anything there to stop them. You've got this measly flak here, which wouldn't do anything against an airstrike, wouldn't really do anything against anything, really. So I do think, I'm surprised his defence stat is what it is, I've got to be honest. I think you've got to a level 61 quite quickly, and your defence was probably a lot higher because you've upgraded or coined or done something to get to this level quickly. If I'm wrong, your setup is working differently to what I expect. I mean, I just can't see why you've got a 41% defence stat with the current base setup, if I'm honest with you. So in summary, I want you to start having to think about flight paths of F-35s and things along that sort of line, and putting key buildings in front of targets. Now, the F-35 will always take the shortest route. So if I was going to target this transformer, for example, it's not going to come in from this way. It's not going to come in from this way. It will always come in from the shortest route. So just taking the mick for a second, if I wanted to protect said transformer, I would put the CC building in front of the flight path, and then that would this strike would hit the CC first, and likely not hit the transformer in this case. I mean, don't get me wrong, don't be protecting transformers, but you get what I'm saying there. So I think there's some good options here to upgrade this base, and start thinking about a strategy. Start thinking about, if you were attacking your base, how would you beat it? Well, I know exactly what I would do here. I'd probably start my attack straight in here, take out the war factory, and probably just airstrike every single turret in this area. And that's probably game over, isn't it? I don't think there's anything else in your base that's going to cause anybody any particular bother, if I'm honest. I think that's probably how I would take you quite easily. So have a think about perhaps mines in this area if you're going to continue with this setup, but also be thinking about more about protection against these airstrikes and things like that. That's how I would do it. Certainly any think like power plants and metal storage and things like that really want to be on the outside of the base. I mean, you've got no spawn protection here. I mean, you would literally spawn right onto your base, whereas if you pushed, if you made the base smaller and then pushed all the kind of ancillary buildings around as a sort of a defensive structure, what happens is your spawn zone gets a little shorter. So let's kind of have a little look at GC towers, if you will. So if I go to my base, for example, let's have a little scan. So first of all these buildings are pushing out to make the spawn zone much further away. So anybody attacking my base is going to spawn right on the outside. They're certainly not going to spawn anywhere near it. I've got SAMs and the like, pretty much to the maximum. And I think overall I've got 4 SAMs in mine. A few of them are sort of hidden away, but often solo boosted and things along that sort of line. I've got a lot more sort of salvo protection. I've got a few hydras in there, but a lot of it is SAM, not one single machine gun in there in any way, shape or form. But I've worked out that the flight path for an F-35 and similar, obviously Reavers is the other one, Raptor rather, is they will come this way, and I want to protect that garage, so the CC takes the impact of the garage. And they'll also want to take the war factory, and the flight path of that, I've set my base up so the flight path comes in this way, and the power plant obviously gives me a lot of protection, and then I've got my airfield pretty much in the middle. So it's getting these spawn zones pushed right out, because that also means that the fobs take a long time, and then you've obviously got quite a lot of things hitting those fobs from a decent range as well. It also gives you chance to get your defense out and meet them and things along that sort of line as well. So have a little think about setup and get back to me. Cheers, bro.